can recognize. Even the Hanuman, he became so huge and he went across the ocean. He became so small and went through the demon. All that is a possibility for each one of us to experience. Not just Hanuman, not just Krishna, not just Siddhas, but each one of us. So now let's sit straight and head, neck and spine in a straight line and bring Paramashiva, Parashakti to your third eye. Again and again, when you remember Parashakti, the ultimate mother, with 25 heads, 75 eyes and 50 hands, you will dissolve into her gesture, her smile, her radiance. Unbelievable. You can go on and on the whole thing, that if you cherish it, it is you who develop the cherishing. It's not taught in any school. It is your own Ishta Devata that you cherish inside you again and again, wakes up as the ultimate reality. And absolute unclutching from any thought, anything called thinking, words, action, anything. Tell it to be outside you. You do it when you go to sleep every day. So now also you can experience that consciously, declaring that other than Paramashiva, Parashakti, I will not hold any words or any thought. I will be only in the oneness, in the pure meditation, in the pure space of who I am. I am Paramashiva. That is Thyaga. That is integrity. Integrity is not something to do with time or something to do with your regular or dedication, but it's much beyond. Your higher self as you constantly, the context that you hold is integrity. And holding that is simple integrity with Bhagavan. Again and again, being in the context, I am Paramashiva, is the ultimate integrity that you can be with your Guru. And ultimate obedience is to meticulously follow every step that he is giving as our guidelines to experience that space. These steps, how in a physics lab or a chemistry lab, you would have experienced step-by-step process to get the result. That is exactly step-by-step process for us to experience the oneness. Everything is a science. There is nothing other than science. Bhagavan clearly shows us. And having the Shakti Pada, chant the Mahavakya. Chanting is the ultimate. Sharada Devi every single day chanted 1,00,000 times. Everybody asked, even when the deathbed, she was chanting. Everybody asked, why are you chanting so much? She said, I initiated so many people in chanting. They are not chanting, so I am finishing all their backlogs and I have to chant. She loved chanting so much, and simply she chanted every single day. 1,00,000 times. Bhagavan himself beautifully has given us so many Mahavakya. It increases our frequency and makes us understand there is something beyond thinking, the oneness space for us to recognize. And chanting mantras are the pure sound. Non-stop we are talking. Sometime we can experience the pure sound. So chant the Mahavakya, get into the deep space of meditation and hold that oneness with Paramashiva, Parashakti as yourself, not your identity, as yourself, and just merge into Paramashiva, dissolve into Paramashiva in the oneness capsule. That is entanglement. And simply record whatever you are experiencing. At the end of the session, we will verify it. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up.
Such a beautiful space that Bhagwan Prasada, each of us experiencing the oneness space with Paramashiva manifest as Shakti. The more and more the oneness space, how the Balasans manifest the powers. When the curtain opens, they are just in a joy. They forget who they are. Forgetting the body and the mind simply will make you manifest the powers. Each of you touching that beautiful space of oneness, that very seconds, even 3 to 4 seconds. Even science has now proven that we can experience zero TPS, zero thoughts per second for 3 to 4 seconds and experience because we are initiated. We are in the space, all of us all over the world, manifesting these powers during this Kailash Courtyard and Bhagwan's presence here. We are able to make that zero TPS into the reality that Paramashiva to manifest through us as consciousness. That becomes more and more, we experience the space and we start experience and relish that space more and more. We'll understand that is where the ultimate reality, the consciousness, Bhagavan says 21 Shana, if you're able to hold, even it can be as small as seconds that we can hold this conscious space, zero thought per second, we will be enlightened. It is so simple. That is why he says it is like a blink of an eye, easier than the blink of an eye. When somebody asked Bhagavan, how can you say it is easier than blink of an eye when we have to struggle for so many janmas and years? Janmas we have to struggle, but he says it's easier than a blink of an eye. Is because you start living the Charya Pada, the Vairagya in you start settling down, then it becomes as easy as a blink of an eye. If it is bhakti, he says it's going to take forever to bring that context into us. The bhakti, the fantasizing should become grounded into jnana vairagya bhakti. How gopikas understood Krishna is consciousness, the ultimate, and then they connected from that context to Krishna in deep oneness. And the deep understanding, the cognitive shift that happened, not out of anything else, they were able to manifest physical form of Krishna for each of the gopikas. They were also in this Gurukulam where they learned the power manifestation and evolved into gopikas where they were in oneness with Krishna. So each of us can experience the Paramashiva space in us and the ultimate that Bhagavan has created for all of us in this Kailash courtyard as an ultimate happening. Whoever comes to this have manifested. And Bhagavan beautifully says, even if you're manifested once rolling a coconut, it can be as simple as that. Experience the oneness or Kundalini Shakti. I am there to manifest and show you the higher and higher reality. So Bhagavan is manifesting through us. He is in this courtyard more present than all of us here manifesting, not just the meditation, but meditation to raise us as conscious being. Bhagavan's beautiful ways of manifesting and raising our reality and fulfilling all our outer desires. How beautiful the signs that he has given us. Be in the deep gratitude, earning space, and let's have one more cycle. If you're manifested, you can put a thumbs up. You can share your experience in the YouTube or Facebook chats, and we'll have one more cycle, one more round of deep experience with oneness with Paramashiva, let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Get into the Shakti Pada. How you enjoy Paramashiva, Paramashiva enjoys you more. If you understand that, you will be in greater oneness than you experience. Not only you are earning, he is waiting more than our earning. We are selectively earning. He is there permanently for us. So hold that higher cognition, how your mother is waiting for you, right? You are running up and down. So she is more there for us than we are there trying to do what we need to do. Hold that powerful space of Shaktipada, Bhagavan himself coming down as Para Shakti and manifesting through us is the ultimate gift that Bhagavan can give us. And don't miss these experiences, the oneness space, Shaktipada, that you can experience and manifest as powers. Chant the Mahavakya, not just listen. Please put your gadgets away for a few more minutes and chant deeply the Mahavakya. And let's experience the power of Ashtamaha-siddhi, increasing the height or the length of the object. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely.
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Jnanam 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 Paramashivam.
Verification process for.
Let's go through the verification process and then the sharing. Verify the length that you are measuring is beautiful. There is the whole height, or you're measuring the size or the length, everything at least 5 to 10 units it should increase. Then you have manifested the powers fully. If you're only measured and it is only a small changes that you see, still you are manifesting the power of Paramashiva. If you experience only the Kundalini energy, or just the heat, or just the experience that you had, is also manifestation. You are continuously manifesting. The all that you see is Paramashiva. All that is happening is Parashakti. Whether you're drinking a coffee or you're making a huge decision, all the things are manifestation of Paramashiva. Now we request you all to share that beautiful experience of oneness, powerful cognition with the world. Somebody shared it. That is why today we are blessed to be here. So sharing for more and more people and constantly holding that space. Everyone is a mirror of you. So if you raise them, it is actually in the mirror. You are correcting yourself to make you look much better. So more and more auspicious abundance overflows and expands you faster when you understand. You share with all these great truth with others, especially your family and friends. The closest ones who you're living is the hardest to love. And if you understand, that happens when you share these higher cognition shift that you had, simply there will be such auspiciousness happening out there. And you can see the dollar sign at the end of the YouTube chat. It's also like how you offer in when you go to a Hindu temple, there's hundi in the near the Dvajastamba. You offer a coin and thank Bhagavan for all your experience and knowledge that you have gained today, and drop the coin and say, let this knowledge become my reality. All this higher science that Bhagavan is flooding into us, making us understand and getting us out of the delusion, constantly bringing us out of that space. Whenever something happens, now we are looking at it with much more powerful space, is because what Bhagavan gave. So contribute in gratitude to Bhagavan's lotus feet, whatever you want, even it can be as small as a one currency of your 1 unit of your currency. Simply, it will expand your Kailasha, your inner space to that higher reality. Thank Bhagwan. First, surrender all that powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagwan's lotus feet. If you're manifested, great. If you're not manifested, also you're Paramashiva. No difference. It just surrender all that to Bhagwan's lotus feet every single day. Simply the cognition will become expansive in your inner space. And ask in the earning and deep gratitude, ask Bhagwan to expand it into your reality itself. Again and again, when we deeply request, that becomes our cognition, and expansion beautifully happens in us. So with the deep gratitude, thanking each and every one of you here also to be here manifesting such great space of Paramashiva, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu Om Nityanandam. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for a beautiful space of Paramashiva. Don't miss the next satsang, pre-satsang, and the power manifestation, Bhagwan's beautiful initiation. And today we have the Maheshwara Puja. Tomorrow morning we have the Maheshwara Puja. And that is the ultimate space, the completion with all the Pitrus. And it leads us to know deeper and deeper completion. All these rituals and all this is the Vairagya. Again and again participating and being in that oneness space releases from all the incompletion, the past janmas that we've been carrying and happening again and again as our karma. All that gets dissolved when we align to the higher reality. So thank Bhagwan and thank each one of you, and see you again after the next blessing, Barulwak or Darshan or Sat.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रीनितिलकृतकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितगडिगोपीनवसनः दधानो दुष्टारं चिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषां मरुणगिरियोगी विजयते. Nityanandam, with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, we welcome you to the Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya here in Adi Kailasa Nityananda Peetam. Swamiji, driven by a vision years ago by Paramashiva to establish his eastern headquarters under a banyan tree, Swamiji sought out and found the banyan tree that you're witnessing here today. The banyan tree is a connection to Swamiji's previous janmas, where he himself has planted the tree and he himself has had samadhi under the tree. Samadhi is a place where the final resting place of a person or an enlightened person's body. The Mahasamadhi is a very it's a very ancient time when very ancient science where the body of an enlightened master is which is having a concentrated amount of cosmic energy, of pure life positive energy, and when it is encapsulated inside or enshrined inside a temple, it becomes a energy center for many people to come and experience that same space of being around that same enlightened person. Even though consciousness may have left, it still remains, the body still remains in that space and radiates. So under this very banyan tree, we have the samadhi. And it is here from that body that it has grown into a huge banyan tree. Banyan tree is a tree that has branches growing away from the main root, and from the main root, from the branches themselves, again extending below to have more roots. This banyan tree is described in Shastras again and again as the Kalpavriksha, or the tree of life, and it gives whatever you ask. The Kalpavriksha is a tree that gives everything that you ask to it. So, the banyan tree that we see here in Bidadi is not a simple tree envisioned by, given by the vision given by Paramashiva had given Swamiji the understanding that this is not just a tree, but it is Paramashiva himself. And it is a very portal to the higher possibilities and dimensions of the cosmos. The tree, it goes all the way up to Kailasa and brings the energies and literally the cold winds and the cold air from there. You can experience sometimes miraculously here in Adi Kailasa that the banyan tree's presence is an attracting magnet, just like how a mountain would attract clouds towards it for rains to happen or protects the clouds from moving. The same way, the banyan tree has an effect to bring nature, to bring clouds, to bring rain, and it has the very place is having such an ecosystem. Apart from that, the banyan tree is underneath the banyan tree, or underneath the canopy of the banyan tree, there is the deity of Dakshinamurti, Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva, who came in the form of a young man, a 16-year-old man, sitting in enlightened silence, and around him the older men whose doubts and distresses are there in their heart. Just by witnessing and being in the presence of such a man, of the enlightened Paramashiva himself, the doubts and the distress of the elderly are simply removed. We sing this in the verse of Chittam Vadataror Mule Vriddha Sishya Guru Riva Gurorstu Maunam Vyakyanam Sishyastu Chinna Samshaya. You can understand from this verse that in this the silence of the banyan tree, in the silence of that presence of the Dakshinamurti, the doubts and the sufferings of all of us are dispelled. And this is the miracle that everybody experiences under the banyan tree here in Adi Kailasa. No matter who you are, no matter from what walk of life you are, the tree has a profound impact in your inner space. No matter if you're carrying a lot of suffering or you just want to have a good time, whatever space you come under the tree in, it simply fulfills your space. It simply gives you what you ask, that deep fulfillment and the contentment which we ask. It is under this very Dakshinamurti that Swamiji had given us under this Dakshinamurti, Swamiji had placed the Prana Pratishtha, has done the solidifying of the mercury, a process that requires a tremendous amount of energy, and a process in which a tremendous amount of cosmic energy can be consecrated. Hence, it forms like a garbha. Swamiji describes creating a deity and telling what a deity is compared to how a woman would go through labor and go through the process of her pregnancy. It's in the same kind of way of creating life, creating that spark, creating energy, creating something from almost nothing. That amount of energy and effort, that it is what it takes to create another deity. In a cosmological sense, Swamiji is creating deities like this, and Dakshinamurti was one of the first ones he created and placed under the banyan tree, under whom there is a powerful garbha, a powerful energy center. And the deity itself is energized and is a beautiful, magnificent deity of a young Paramashiva who sits and radiates such silence and enlightenment. Anybody who sits under the tree and witnesses the darshan of Dakshinamurti will be able to know the space of Dakshinamurti. That is the power of the deity and the power of the space of the Kalpataru of Paramashiva here. And any problem, any ailment you have. Swamiji is beautifully opening up the opportunity for anybody around the world to have the darshan of the deities through the live Kailasa TV, the live video feed of the Companion Tree and Dakshinamurti. It is through those all channels also you can have and you can offer your prayers there, especially in the times of COVID and in the recent times where tremendous devastation has caused the governments to lock down all the temples where people have carried their sacred sentiments for years on. Suddenly, there's a stoppage to the spiritual fervor that's everywhere, and people really need to tap in or tune in to some religious activity, especially here in the Banyan, in all of the deities in our temple. All of them are live, all of them are available for everyone on Kailasa.tv for all of you to love, offer your prayers through, and connect with. And then in the Garbhalaya of the temple, there is a Balalaya. The Swayambhu Nityanandeshwara was kept by Swamiji. Swayambhu is a material that is given by Prakriti, nature or existence itself, for all of us to worship. Through it, we connect with cosmic energy. Normally, the process, as we just described, of prana pratishtha is done as an intense process by an enlightened being. But their bodies also, as we just learned, is also a capsule of it. Just like the body of Venkateshwara Swami in Tirumala Tirupati, the body itself became the deity. It's not a stone, but it's the very person. In the same way, the body of Ramanuja in Srirangam and the body of Devi Meenakshi is there in the Garbha Mandir of the Meenakshi Amman temple. In the same way, the body of Swamiji's previous life as Swamiji made itself have samadhi, and the prakriti, the nature itself, created a stone to be worshipped. Swamiji recognized the energy, the consecration that is there given by nature itself in the stone, took out the stone and placed it in a balalaya. This is known as Swayambhu Nityanandeshwara. Swayambhu meaning self-manifested, self-effulgent, self-emergent. It is there, and it is the very body of our beloved Swamiji. Offering puja to it and seeing his darshan is seeing the darshan of Swamiji himself, of seeing the darshan of Paramashiva himself. 7 times a day, 7 Kala puja happened to this Nityanandeshwara Linga. And then above the deity, we have a beautiful deity of Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nityanandeshwari Parashakti, in the beautiful setting and an intimate setting of how Paramashiva taught to Devi Nityanandeshwari Parashakti the Agamas in the Tantra. She is literally sitting on his lap, and he, in an intimate way, is holding her and teaching her the science of enlightenment itself. In this same setting only, it is envisioned by Swamiji, and it is remembered by Swamiji that this actually happened under this very banyan tree. As this banyan tree is on the southern side of Kailasa, this banyan tree is there mentioned in Kamika Agama as Kailaksha Dakshine Shringe Nanaschari Sammanimite. Under the banyan tree on the southern side of Kailasa, Paramashiva resides along with Devi and teaches the Kamika Agamas. We here celebrate them in the form of a beautiful and magnificent deity of Nityanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva. They are in constant yoga, in oneness, and they are the first guru and the disciple. Just like the invocation verses that we have chanted, Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham, Nityanandeshwari Parashakti Madhyama, Asmadacharya Pariyantam, Bande Guru Paramparam, or Guru Parampara. The lineage of guru and disciple begins with the primordial Shiva, Paramashiva, who taught the first knowledge to his first disciple, Devi Parashakti, from whom all the other acharyas and teachers and great enlightened beings learnt. It is through her compassion and through her love that Mother Devi Parashakti herself listened and asked Paramashiva the fundamental questions about the universe. The same way, the fundamental questions are even being asked now, especially in the times when COVID is rampant. We are surrounded by death, and the fundamental questions of our life are suddenly, we have to face them. We have to face the basic questions about even our purpose, because even that becomes uncertain in these times. When people are looking inside themselves and living inside their homes and looking into themselves and trying to find answers to these fundamental questions, Paramashiva here in Adi Kailasa, and Swamiji himself, by giving us this temple by his grace and blessings, is teaching us there is possibility, there is magnificent possibility to have the answers for these questions. With this, I wanted to share one of the deepest ways of how to connect with the deities and understand all of this in temple science. Swamiji teaches us in the Living Enlightenment about innocence. Constantly, we are asked to be good, to be pure, and to be innocent. The idea of innocence is forced upon us. Constantly, we are taught by society, by moralists, that something is right, something is wrong, something is pure and something is impure, something is good and something is bad, something is innocent and something is corrupted. Constantly, we are taught of the idea of good and bad. We are forced to practice that good is what society thinks is good. But life has no way related to what society believes in. Life is totally different. What society believes is different from what life is. There is a beautiful saying, when you think in a generalized way, but when you live, you can't generalize. This is like what they say in marketing. Think globally, but act locally. Situations can't be generalized in life. In your life, there are so many things where generalizations is not possible at all. Or you can't decide what to do and what not to do based on popular guidelines. All your ideas about morality and the right and wrong might not have any relevance practically. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, why do our ancient Hindu scriptures not speak about gambling? Of the epics speak about only the epics speak about gambling. I tell them that it is at that time there was no gambling. Then how do you expect them to speak about gambling? Naturally, no Hindu scripture bans gambling or drugs because at that time these problems did not exist. When it comes to morality, it depends completely on the situation. Morality is relative, not existential. Innocence means the purity of the inner space, not being affected by the thoughts of engraved memories. Let you be clear, even if you are not expressing your emotions like anger, greed, or lust, if they are present in your inner space, you are not as yet a total or innocent person. Socially, you may be pure at all. On the other hand, if you express your anger, lust, or greed, but nothing touches your inner space, you live like an innocent child. Then, be very clear, you are a pure being. In this beautiful chapter, innocence, regained, opens many doors of life. Is something that many of us can learn when approaching the deities or approaching the Hindu science here in temple. The eyes with which a child will see the world are very different from the eyes that a person sees the world. A person who has lived some years has experienced that filters, they see the world through filters of their judgments, expectations, and understandings they have come to. The conclusions they come to filter out the world from their life. It's like the Instagram filter that makes the world a different color than it actually is. But when you remove these filters, you see the world as it is. You see it and grasp it as it is, the same way as an innocent child does. There are beautiful ways that nature itself brings us to such stillness, to bring us back to having those eyes. When we see a sunset or when we see a large mountain, by seeing something that's larger than life in front of us, living and breathing, we also remember we are living and breathing, and every moment is fresh. Every moment is beautiful. That stillness that is brought to us is the experience that we get when we see the darshan of the deities as well. When we see the deities in our hearts, in our eyes, and with our third eye is immediately awakened, and the images are immediately placed in our being. So when we approach the darshan of Nityananda Ishvara Paramashiva today, let us prepare ourselves to get ready for his darshan in this today's Rudrabhishekam. It is a ritual process for which and where which we can cognize many things and also cognize the simplest things, the fundamental, most fundamental things. First, let us understand the context of this ritual before we begin. But first, I would like all of us to come together and make a declaration before the ritual is done, as a declaration of our understanding and context. Our words matter. The words we tell ourselves matter, because those form our beliefs that we have inside. So when we are clear about our beliefs, the response from the cosmos will also be very clear to us. So let us make the first declaration, that is, that you believe cosmic energy exists, that there is something in you, around you, above you, called consciousness, and exists. It is real, and it is not dull, dead matter, but it is cosmic energy. It is intelligence, cosmic intelligence, that you experience when you really are in that way we just learned, innocent. By declaring this statement, we are declaring that we want to be in that innocence, and in that same way receive the darshan. So let us make the first declaration. Please say yes after this statement. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that cosmic energy exists. Yes. The next statement is about the deities themselves, because the deities are a representation and embodiment of that very cosmic energy. So we are going to understand that they are not just metal or stone, but they are more than that. In the same way we cognize that cosmic energy exists inside us and around us, we must cognize now that they are there in the form of a deity. They are there before us, and they are responding to us. They are intelligent. So let us make the second declaration. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nityanandeshwari Parashakti are the Chinmaya Vigrahas, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes. The third declaration is for the ritual. The process that Paramashiva himself gives in the Agamas is known as Kriya Pada, where he gives us rites and rituals to perform to live an enlightened life. We understand that it is not just a mere action that is what is given to the deity and what it responds to. It responds not to the question of the devotee, but the questioner itself. The same way Swamiji responds to us. He answers our fulfillment. He guides us to how we will be fulfilled in life. In that same way, Swamiji is building Adi Kailasa as an ark for everyone to join and come and sail through the Pralaya waters. The whole world is in a delusion, in devastation. We can sail through the waters safely with Swamiji by our side, with Swamiji as our captain. In the same way, the rituals are there as a guidance for us to be able to have our intentions given to the deities. It is only what is the intention that the deity says tathastu, or so be it for. The blessing of the deity is tathastu, meaning so be it. So whatever intentions we carry is what is truly going to manifest in our lives. So when we worship the deity, we understand, then cognize that we are not worshipping the deity, we are worshipping the idol or the stone, we are worshipping Paramashiva. And through this deity, whatever we offer will be received to Paramashiva, and he will respond. We recognize that in the third declaration. So let us make the third declaration. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that whatever I offer in the Rudrabhishekam to Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nityanandeshwari Parashakti, will reach the cosmic source of energy directly. Yes. The final declaration that we make is the ultimate declaration declared by the Vedas and the Upanishads of Sohamasmi. That means that even when I worship, I am not inferior to the cosmic energy. I am nothing less. I am in oneness with it. What it is what I am. The Mahanyasa Purvaka Rudrabhisheka, a longer procedure of Rudrabhishekam that is done traditionally once or twice a year here in the temple, declares Mama Sankalpam Shiva Sankalpamastu, means our intention is the intention of the cosmos. When we make the decision that we are not below and underneath the deity, we are in the same innocence as the first declaration, declaring the ultimate truth, not an egoist standpoint, but in an innocent, humbling standpoint. The one we sing in our Sadguru Vandanam, Tattvamasya Lakshyam, where we declare Swamiji as the one who is in the state of Tattvamasi, meaning you are that art Tao. You are the cosmos, you are everything. You are that Tattvamasi. We declare that he is in that state, but not just being in that state. He is the goal for us to come to that space. He is the goal for us to raise ourselves to come to that space. So we say, Tattvamasyadi Lakshyam. In the fourth declaration, we declare the highest truth of Sohamasmi, that even when I worship, I am him. With this final context, let us make the fourth declaration. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth of Sohamasmi, that even when I worship, I am him. Yes. With this powerful declarations that we just made, affirming positively and integratively and authentically, let us get ourselves ready to receive the darshan of Nityanandeshwara. Please sit straight, the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Inhale and exhale as deeply as possible, as slowly as possible. Take a deep breath and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
विश्वसृष्टिविधायिनं पुनरेव पालनतत्परं संहरन्तमपि प्रपञ्चमशेषलोकनिवासिनम् क्रीडयन्तमहर्निशं गणनाथयूथसमन्वितं क्रीडयन्तमहर्निशं गणनाथयूथसमन्वितं नित्यं शुभ्रजटाधरं नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः देवसिन्धुतरङ्गशीकर सिक्तशुभ्रजटाधरं नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं सर्वपापविनाशनम् नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं यक्षराजसखं भगाक्षहरं भुजङ्गविभूषणं शैलराजसुतापरिष्कृतचारुवामकलेभरं यक्षराजसखं बहाक्षहरं भुजङ्गविभूषणं शैलराजसुतापरिष्कृतचारुवामकलेबरं श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणं श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणं नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं सर्वपापविनाशनम् नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं सर्वपापविनाशनम् कुण्डलीकृतकुण्डले
केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशम् स्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भा नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्ति मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रे निट्लकृतकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपी नवसनः दधानो दुस्तारम् शिरसि फनिराजम् शशिकलाम् प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्यायातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया याते रुद्रशिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी दयानस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसि पुरुषं जगते शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असते अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषके अहीगिश्च सर्वाञ्जम्भयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिता सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेड ईमहे असौ व्योपसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुतहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि स दृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरार्तियोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवोपप अवदत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षते शुधे निशीर्य शल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव ऋज्यं धनुःकपर्तिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुमुत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधायानातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय नित्यानन्दाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्लुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नम उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्गुलोपेतं सुगन्धं सुमनोहरम् आघ्र्य सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ आज्यं त्रिवर्तिसंयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहं दीपं दर्शयामि ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणी अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यान्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात् मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि
महाक्षधरं भुजङ्गविभूषणं शैलराजसुतापरिष्कृतचारुवामकलेबरं श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणं श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणं नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किङ्करी नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरम् सर्वपापविनाशनम् कुण्डलीकृतकुण्डलेश्वर कुण्डलं वृषभागनं नारदातिमुनीश्वर स्तुतवैभवं भुवनेश्वरम् कुण्डलीकृतकुण्डलेश्वर कुण्डलं वृषभागनं नारदातिमुनीश्वर स्तुतवैभवं भुवनेश्वरम् अन्धकान्तकमाश्रितावरपादवं शमनान्तकम् अन्धकान्तकमाश्रितावरपादवं शमनान्तकम् नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरम् सर्वपापविनाशनम् नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरम् सर्वपापविनाशनम् भेषजं भवरोगिणामखिलापदामपहारिणम् धक्षयज्ञविनाशनं त्रिगुणात्मकं त्रिविलोचनम् भेषजं भवरोगिणामखिलापदामपहारिणम् धक्षयज्ञविनाशनं त्रिगुणात्मकं त्रिविलोचनम् भुक्तिमुक्तिफलप्रदं सकलाघसङ्गनिबर्हणम् नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः भुक्तिमुक्तिफलप्रदं सकलाघसङ्गनिबर्हणम् नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरम् सर्वपापविनाशनम् नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरम् भक्तवत्सलमर्चितं निधिमक्षयं हरिदम्बरं सर्वभूतपतिं परात्परमप्रमेयमनूत्तमम् भक्तवत्सलमर्चितं निधिमक्षयं हरिदम्बरं सर्वभूतपतिं परात्परमप्रमेयमनूत्तमम् सोमवारितभूहुतासन सोमपानिलकाकृतिम् सोमवारितभूहुतासन सोमपानिलकाकृतिम् नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति
महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि शिव प्रचोदयात् मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि अमृताध्वले अमृतर्षिणे अमृतं श्रावण श्रावण स्वाहा अमृतं नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यान्तरमासमनं समर्पयामि ॐ न तत्र चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भातिगतमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव आशीर्वाद प्रिय आशीर्वाद अवधारजा ओम स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कालो वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः इति स्वस्ति मन्त्रार्थः सत्यात् सबला भवन्तु इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु दुर्जनसज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत वन्देभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयात् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु पुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधुनासनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शतम् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु राजाधर्मपतिः प्रजा सुचरिताः पूजाधना सज्जनाः षट्कर्म प्रजाद्विजाः प्रतिदिनं विद्या अनवद्या सदा दाने सन्निहिता चिरं गतमहुराः सानन्दमव्याकुलाः सर्वे सन्तु वैदिकधर्म अनुष्ठातारः सौजन्यसन्तोषिणः इति स्वस्ति मन्त्रार्थः सत्याः सबला भवन्तु इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु येषां देवदेवानां महादेवानाम् अखिलाण्डकोटिब्रह्माण्डनायकानां सकलभाषष्टिस्थितिसम्भारधिरोभाव अनुग्रन्थेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवस्वरूपाणां श्री आदिगुरुगणगिरियोगेश्वर स्वरूपाणां श्री कालभैरव महाकाली स्वरूपाणां श्री कालाशान्तश्यामलापीठारोह श्री मीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्न स्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञान विस्तृत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्र श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रया नगीयमान छत्रतामर श्रीचन्नकाहलादि समस्त बिरुदावल्लंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्य निर्माण दीक्षा विजयपवर्ष विश्राण जानोत परमत कल्पकेसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज शबलाख्यादि महान धवान निवारण ज्ञान भानु व्याख्यान ज्योतिर्दन पूर्वक श्रीमद ऋषभध्वज स्थापक सर्व समय कर्ता सर्वज्ञ बैठार श्री माणिक्यनाथक स्वामिनां अवतारभूत श्री ज्ञानसंबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्यत्र दशरथनाम सर्वज्ञ पीठ सन्निधानानां कैलासपरंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशतगुणवर्धनः सन्निधानानां नित्योत्सव नित्यमंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तॄणां साक्षात् श्री परमहंसोद्भूत శ్రీరామచంద్రశోరసేన ఇత్య జనవచ్ఛిన్న సార్వభౌమ చక్రవర్తి పరంపరాగత చతుషష్ఠి యోగిని మండిత చతుషష్ఠి సంప్రదాయ ప్రవర్తక మనుధర్మ శాసన సూర్యవంశ ప్రాప్త సర్వజ్ఞపీఠ సురాంగి సామ్రాజ్య మూర్ధాభిషిక్త చూడామణీనా సాక్షాత్ శ్రీ పరమశివ సముద్భూత కమలమహా పునరుద్ధృత మహానిర్వాణి పీఠ అష్టోత్తర సహస్ర శ్రీ మహామండలేశ్వరాణం సాక్షాత్ శ్రీ పరమశివోద్భూత శ్రీ మహాగణపతి సమారంభ అనవచ్ఛిన్న పీఠాభాషప్రాప్త అటల పీఠ అష్టోత్తర సహస్రతమ అష్టోత్తర సహస్ర శ్రీ అటల పీఠాధీశ్వర ధర్మముక్తేశ్వర స్వర్ణపీఠ త్రయోవింశ గురు మహాసన్నిధానం కౌరవ పరంపరాగత అధికార నిత్యానంద పీఠ మహాసంస్థాన మహాసింహాసన పీఠకర్తॄణాం పునరుద్ధారకానాం శ్రీకైలాసపరమాచార్యాణాం శ్రీమత్పరమహంసానాం వైవ్రాజికాచార్యవర్యాణాం సచ్చిదానంద ప్రణవస్వరూపాణాం శ్రోత్రబ్రహ్మనిష్టానాం శ్రీమజ్జగద్గురాణాం శ్రీవత్సరా భగవత్ శ్రీ నిత్యానంద పరమశివ శ్రీ జ్ఞాన సంబంధదేశిక పరమాచార్య స్వామినాం పాదారవిందయోః భక్తి సిద్ధి సమేషాం సహకుటుంబానాం సకలైశ్వర్య ప్రాప్తి గురుకృపా కటాక్ష సిద్ధి క్షేమస్థైర్య వీర్య విజయ ఆయు సిద్ధి ఆచంద్రార్క వంశాభివృద్ధి ధర్మార్థ కామమోక్ష చతుర్విధ ఫల పురుషార్థ సిద్ధి సర్వేషాం మనసా చింతిత సత్కార్యానుకూల సిద్ధి భగవత్శ్రీ నిత్యానంద పరమశివ ప్రసాదేన సకుటుంబస్య జ్ఞాన వైరాగ్య జీవన్ముక్తి ప్రాప్తిశ్చ భూయాత్ ఇతి భవంతో మహాంతో న గృహంతో తథాస్తు సర్వే జనా సుఖినః సంతు తథాస్తు సర్వేషాం శాంతిర్భవతు తథాస్తు సమస్త సన్మంగళాని సంతు తథాస్తు సర్వత్ర నిత్యానంద ధ్వజారోహణం భవతు తథాస్తు సర్వేషాం శ్రీ భగవత్ శ్రీ నిత్యానంద పరమశివ శ్రీ జ్ఞాన సంబంధదేశిక పరమాచార్య స్వామినాం పరిపూర్ణ కృపా కటాక్ష సిద్ధి అస్తు తథాస్తు అయం ధర్మః ఉత్తరోత్తరం అభివృద్ధిరస్తు తథాస్తు సర్వం భగవత్ శ్రీ నిత్యానంద పరమశివ పాదుకార్పణమస్తు ఓం నిత్యానందం మంగళం కల్పవృక్షాయ మంగళం జ్ఞానదాయినే సదాశివాయ శ్రీనిత్యానందేశ్వరాయ మంగళం మంగళం శ్రీవిద్యాంబాయై మంగళం కామదాయిన్యై సర్వమంగళదాత్రీ నిత్యానందేశ్వర్యై మంగళం మంగళం గురుదేవాయ మోక్షమూలాయ మంగళం పరావతార నిత్యానందాయ గురవే మంగళం ఓం పూర్ణమదః పూర్ణమిదం పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే ఓం శాంతి 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 హరి ఓం తత్సత్ సర్వం భగవత్ శ్రీ నిత్యానంద పరమశివ పాదుకార్పణమస్తు ఓం నిత్యానందం द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे क्षीरं च मे लयश्च मृतं च मे मृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवादुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे नमित्तं च मे भयं च मे सुखं च मे शयनं च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनं च मे ऊर्च मे सोनृता च मे वयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतं च मे मधु च मे सग्धिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे चैत्रं च औद्भिद्यं च मे रजिश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे कूयवाच्च मे नं च मे क्षुच्च मे व्रीहयश्च मे यवाश्च मे माशाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मे नवश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामां कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्न शिव प्रचोदयात् न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति श्री नित्यानंदे श्री पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिवाय नमः मंगलनीराजनं संदर्शयामि
परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिव
ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्लोपेतं सुगन्धं सुमनोहरं माघ्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यतां धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ साज्यं त्रिवर्तिसंयुक्तं वह्निना योधितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहम् नित्यानन्देश्वर श्री नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवाय नमः दीपं दर्शयामि ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणी अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि ॐ व्योम व्योमाय विद्महे सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्माय धीमहि तन्नः सूक्ष्मं प्रचोदयात् श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः मंगलनीराजनं संदर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् बहुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् बहुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः वेदोक्तमन्त्र पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि The next offering as a part of Adhutamotama Seva is the offering of the Chaturvedam, the shlokas from the four Vedas of the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and the Atharvana Veda. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव चतुर्वेद प्रिय चतुर्वेद भवधारय हरिः ओम अग्निमीळे पुरोहितं यज्ञस्य देवं ऋत्विजं होतारं रत्नधातमं हरिः ओम इहेत्वोर्जे त्वा वाजवस्थोपायवस्तदेवो वस्सविता प्रार्पय जुश्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणे हरिः ओम अग्न आजाहि वीतये गृणानो हव्यदातये निहोता सत्सि बर्हिषि हरिः ॐ हरिः ॐ षण्णो देवीरभीष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः हरिः ॐ The next offering as a part of the Uttamotama Seva is the offering of the Agama Shlokas, the various shlokas from the Shaivagamas, scriptures revealed from Paramashiva to Devi and adopted by Vishnu as a constitution to run the universe. Now we are going to chant shlokas from the Nityananda Jnana Paddhati, which is a compilation of verses from various different tantras and agamas about the science revealed by Paramashiva about power manifestation. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव आगम श्लोक प्रिय आगम श्लोकानवधारय अजरामरतामेति सोनिमादिगुणान्वितः योगिनीनां प्रियो देवी सर्वमेलापकाधिपः जीवन्नपि विमुक्तोऽसौ कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते. The next offering as a part of the Uttamottama Seva is the offering of the Samagana, the hymns from the Samaveda. Paramashiva is also known as Samagana Priya, the one who is very fond of the hymns from the Samaveda. Will be offering this shlokas from the Samaveda at the lotus feet of Shri Nityandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nityandeshwara Paramashiva. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव सामगान प्रिय सामगानमवधारय एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा वूहा वूहा वू अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गुश्लोककृत 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 अहमस्मि प्रथमजारतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य नाभायि यो म ददाति स इदेवमावाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यगवां सुवर्णज्योतिः हरिः ओम्. The next offering as a part of the Uttamottama Seva is the offering of the Ghanapata, which is a very special format of chanting the Veda mantras. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव घनपाठ प्रिय घनपाठमवधारय ओम गणानां त्वा गणानां त्वा गणपतिं त्वा गणानां त्वा गणपतिं त्वा गणपतिं त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे गणपतिं त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे गणपतिगुं हवामहे गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविगुं हवामहे गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं गणपतिमिति गणपतिं हरिः ओम्. The next offering as a part of the Uttamottama Seva is the offering of the stotras. Stotras are the hymns which are composed by various different enlightened masters and extol the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the unending auspicious qualities of Paramashiva. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव स्तोत्र प्रिय स्तोत्रमवधारय। पशूनां पतिं पापनाशं परेशं गजेन्द्रस्य कृत्तिं वसानं वरेण्यं जटाजूटमध्ये स्फुरद्गाङ्गवारिं महादेवमेकं स्मरामि स्मरारिं महेशं सुरेशं सुरारातिनाशं विभुं विश्वनाथं विभूत्यङ्गभूषं विरूपाक्षमिन्द्वर्कवह्नित्रिनेत्रं सदानन्दमीडे प्रभुं पञ्चवक्त्रं गिरीशं गणेशं गले नीलवर्णं गवेन्द्राधिरूढं गुणातीतरूपं भवं भास्वरं भस्मनाभूषिताङ्गं भवानीकलत्रं भजे पञ्चवक्त्रं शिवाकान्तशम्भो शशाङ्कार्धमौले महेशानशूलिं जटाजूटधारिन् त्वमेको जगद्व्यापको विश्वरूप प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभो पूर्णरूप परात्मानमेकं जगद्बीजमाद्यं निरीहं निराकारमोङ्कारवेद्यं यतो जायते पाल्यते येन विश्वं तमीशं भजे लीयते यत्र विश्वम्। The next offering as a part of the Uttamotama Seva is the offering of the Dravida Shlokas, the Dravida Vedam, various hymns which are sung by various different Nayanmars, Shaivite saints in the Dravida Bhasha. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव द्राविड वेद प्रिय द्राविड वेदमवधारय। शिवा तिरुचिट्रम्बलम मंदिरमावदनीर वानवर मेलद नीर सुंदरमावद नीर துதிர்க்கப்படுவது நீர் தந்திரமாவது நீர் சமயத்தில் உள்ளது நீர் செந்துமர்வாயுமை பங்கன் திரு ஆலவாயான் திருநீர் சிவா திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்। देवदेवोत्तमं देवता सार्वभौमम् अखिलांडकोटि ब्रह्मांडनायकं श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेतं श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवम् अष्टपुष्पैरभ्यर्च्य ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः। सर्वोपचारार्थे सर्वमंगलवाप्यर्थे सर्वापराधक्षमापणार्थे मंगलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि। देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव आशीर्वादप्रिय आशीर्वादमवधारय। ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनीं देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः इति स्वस्तिमन्त्रार्थाः सत्या सफला भवन्तु इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु। दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत वन्देभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु। अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदः शतम् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तु तथास्तु। राजा धर्मपतिः प्रजा सुचरिताः पूजाधना सज्जनाः षट्कर्म प्रवरा द्विजाः प्रतिदिनं विद्या अनवद्य सदा वाणी सन्निहिता चिरं कविमुखैः सानन्दमव्याकुलाः सर्वे सन्तु वैदिकधर्म अनुष्ठातारः सौजन्यसन्तोषिणः इति स्वस्तिमन्त्रार्थाः सत्या सबला भवन्तो इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु। येषां देवदेवानां महादेवानाम् अखिलाण्डकोटिब्रह्माण्डनायकानां सकलभूसृष्टिस्थितिसंहार तिरोभाव अनुग्रहाख्य पञ्चकृत्यवराजनानाम् आदिमध्यान्तरहितानाम् अप्रमेयपराक्रमाणां तत्त्वार्थगोचराणां श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्तिसमेत श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवस्वरूपाणां श्री आदिगुरु अरुणगिरियोगीश्वरस्वरूपाणां श्रीकालभैरव महाकाली स्वरूपाणां श्री कैलासोन्नत द्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्री मीनाक्षी सुंदरेश्वराभिन्न स्वरूप परशिवपुत्रर्तकुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्र श्रीमत् परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रया नगीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीजन्नगाहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्ग वर्ष विश्रानजीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपन शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणा नरहारह द्विजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् ऋषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधानानाम अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधानानाम कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधानानाम नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तॄणाम साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्या जनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणीनाम साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत श्री कपिल महा गुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणी पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वरानाम साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वरानाम धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधानानाम कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरूनाम श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारकानाम श्री कैलास परमाचार्यानाम श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्री श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनाम पादारविंदयोः भक्ति सिद्धिः समेषां सहकुटुंबानां सकलैश्वर्य प्राप्तिः गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्धिः क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यानाम् अभिवृद्धिः अरोग दृढगात्रता सिद्धिः आचंद्रार्क वंशाभिवृद्धिः धर्मार्थ काममोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्धिः सर्वेषां मनसा चिन्तित सत्कार्यानुकूल सिद्धिः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपस्य भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवस्य पादारविन्दयोः असञ्चला भक्तिसिद्धिः भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञानवैराग्य जीवन्मुक्तिप्राप्तिश्च भूयात् इति भवन्तो महान्तो न गृह्णन्तो तथास्तु सर्वे जनाः सुखिनः सन्तु तथास्तु समस्त सन्मङ्गलानि सन्तु तथास्तु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु तथास्तु सर्वत्र नित्यानन्दध्वजारोहणं भवतु तथास्तु सर्वेषां श्रीलश्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां परिपूर्ण कृपाकटाक्षसिद्धिः अस्तु तथास्तु अयं धर्मः उत्तरोत्तरम् अभिवृद्धिरस्तु तथास्तु सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ओम नित्यानन्दम् मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने सदाशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलं मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलं मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलं परावतार नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम् मूलमन्त्रं यथाशक्ति जप्त्वा ओम यत्किंचित् कर्म देवेश सदा सुकृतदुष्कृतं तन्मे शिवपदस्तस्य भुङ्क्ष्व क्षपय शङ्कर शिवो दाता शिवो भोक्ता शिवः सर्वमिदं जगत् शिवो यजति सर्वत्र यः शिवः सोऽहमेव तु ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शान्तिः 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 हरिः ओम तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ओम नित्यानन्दम्